Yeah, it's your boy Polo the Swag King, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Polo's POV. If you thought about it, we probably go talk about it. Life, love, and all the above. And now that you know what type of party it is, let me stop with all the shucking and jiving and come on with the come on. How y'all doing out there, man? Y'all been rocking with me. I appreciate you. Those who haven't, I appreciate you too. Cause it's all love right here. We ain't hating on nobody. You know what I'm talking about? We're a little too busy to be hating. You feel me? But anyway, man, I'm gonna jump right into the thing. I heard they got a 100-year-old doctor in Ohio. He's still doing his 9 to 6. Ain't got no plans on retiring. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. I wish he was my doctor. 100 years old, ain't never had no malpractice or nothing. He gotta know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? And 9 to 6, I ain't gonna lie, man. I be feeling my little job, and I ain't even half that age. You feel me? So shout out to him, man. And I would love to know his regimen. He got to be on green juice, geritol, castor oil. I'm talking about it. You know, the mofo be having them remedies. You know what I'm talking about? That motherfucker got ginger root, all kind of stuff. But 100 years old, still working a 9 to 6. Man, shout out to that guy. I wish I had his name for y'all. I wish I had his name for y'all, but I don't. And speaking of money, and he a doctor, he got to have money, but he probably ain't got more money than Byron Allen. And if you like me, I've never heard of Byron Allen, but he's the head of a fancy media group, and he just bought a $100 million home in Malibu. And he's the only black man in America with a $100 million home. So I guess Jay-Z, P. Diddy, they got all this money, but they ain't got a $100 million house. Hey, but it must be nice. Rich people problem, man. I'm about to coin that phrase, rich people problem. But shout out to that guy. Once again, we don't hate on this show. We just tell it like it is here on Polo's POV. This is kind of a crazy story. And I'm gonna give that the dramatic sound effect for the simple fact I'm coming to y'all from Mississippi, and it's sad to report, like 67 years after the death of Emmett Till, they just now passing the anti-lynching law, like this year in 2022. And if you're not familiar with Emmett Till, he was a young kid that came down from Chicago, I believe, visiting down here for the summer. And somebody said he whistled at a white woman, and they kidnapped him, beat him, and killed him. And it inspired the whole movement. His mom wanted the world to see just how bad they did her son. And I want to say he was like maybe 13, 14. He was a young kid. And as a matter of fact, they also got a movie out talking about his mom's journey called Till, which is in theaters now, if I'm not mistaken. So y'all, if you're not familiar, get familiar with that. But it's sad we just now passing an anti-lynching law. But pivoting a little bit, student aid, they're going to forgive some up to $20,000 of student aid relief. That what Biden say he gonna do now, but you know, you got opposers. But I believe the sign-ups will be the 31st. You can go on, let's see if I have it, studentaid.gov, and then you can sign up and see, do you qualify to receive up to $20,000 in student debt relief. And I'm just, while we on the subject of student debt, I'm gonna just be real. I want to go back to college and pursue like music engineering or production, broadcasting, something like that. But I don't want the debt. So as Americans, I think we got to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people that want to go. They can't afford it. I can afford it, but I don't want the debt. You know what I'm saying? You're already giving up your time, and then you go to 2-4 years, and then you get out, may or may not find a job, but you still got this debt to pay off. You know what I'm saying? So you spend half of your career paying off the debt. You know, it's kind of crazy. I think we do need a better system for that. And just me personally, these are just my views. They don't represent any publisher or platform that carries this podcast. I feel like, why you got to pay so much money? I can understand having to pay something because, you got, buildings, paying the teachers, and understand that. But we also got tax dollars. We also sending like millions and hundreds of millions of dollars over to Ukraine and places like that. And I'm not knocking our effort. I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong on that. But I'm just saying we shouldn't have to pay so much just because we want to further our education. that's just how I feel about that. Now, any questions or comments, you can hit me up at MarcoPolo2K at iCloud.com. Polo_DA_swag_king on the gram, and Polo the Swag King 1 on Twitter. But let's talk about California. Knows how to party. They also know how to ban plastic bags. You will not be getting another plastic bag in California. They just passed legislation, no more plastic bags. And of course, we already know where this is going. Everybody's trying to go green and save the earth. And I'm all for that. I'm all about that. But you kind of get the feeling like we might have started a little late. We kind of behind the 8 ball. You know what I'm saying, as they say? Like, we should have been doing this. I'm a point in case. I believe it's Sydney, Australia. They run the whole city off wind power. You know why? Because they started about 10, 15 years ago. Now they got a major city ran completely off wind power. Or it might be solar power. So, but it's not fossil fuels or, electricity. It's either solar or wind. I'm not sure which one. But I know the whole city is ran off alternate energy. So, but shout out to California. You got to crawl before you walk. I understand that. But hold on, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna believe this one. Or you might. You never know. New York City, get a rope. Well, New York City politician Mike Eskis, and y'all will probably hear that name a lot because this motherfucker done released a sex tape. And I didn't say leaked or somebody, dropped the ball on him. He released it himself. And he think it's gonna help his campaign. And the sad part is, that by him thinking it might work, that let you know what kind of society we live in. And here go the name, y'all. Not the bucket list bonanza. And not to mention, this is an older guy. We talking like probably mid-60s or so. Like, that's the first word that comes to mind. I don't even know what's on the tape. But with a name like bucket list bonanza, and he over 6. Well, maybe, hopefully it was like a tape back in the day, maybe. I don't know. But if he got his 60-some-year-old butt on a sex tape, that's the only thing I can think of. But he's running this campaign on legalizing prostitution, and he wants to define consent when you're talking about rape cases and unconsensual sex. So I don't know. Motherfuckers trying anything, and you know what? That's the world we live in now. And these the people we want to put in office and make decisions for our kids and us. I don't know about that one. That shit seems to look crazy to me. You know what I'm talking about? But in some more serious news, because that's some clown ass shit if you ask me. That's just my personal opinion on it. That's some clown ass shit. But in more serious conversation, Rosa Parks started the civil rights movement. And they got a movie out. Well, I think it's more like a documentary, but it's on Peacock, The Rebellious Life of Rosa Parks. But while listening to all this, I found out that Claudette Cloven was a younger woman, and she actually, was making steps and trying to stand up for her rights, civil rights, women's rights. But they chose Rosa Parks because Rosa Parks was married and working. This lady was single, barefoot. She was single, pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So they felt like she wasn't the right image. Imagine that even back in the, 40s, 50s, people were still worrying about imaging and what it looked like. And I tell my kids all the time, it ain't what it is, it's what it looked like. So you got to move and be careful in this world. But Claudette Cloven, man, that'll be if you ain't got nothing better to do some research on her. But she was right there beside Rosa Parks during the civil rights movement. And switching gears one more time, I know COVID vaccine, some people say get it, some people say don't. So you got the conspiracy theories. And while we're on the conversation of COVID, y'all, let's be clear. COVID ain't went nowhere. It's still here. It's still killing people. Maybe not as, the record numbers as it was. And maybe, you got home kits and all this now. So maybe it's not getting, people not going to the doctors, so it's not getting reported like somebody. But COVID is still here. They got some, about 3-4 strands? I might be behind because it seems like they coming out with another one every week. But while they experimenting with the COVID vaccine, they saying they discovered a way to treat cancer. So you got new cancer treatments coming out, which is cool. We got to get something out this COVID deal. COVID almost shut the world. Well, it did shut the world down and broke up a lot of families and marriages. You know, people realized, you know what? Since they was at home together all the time, they realized, you know what? I don't really like your ass. Matter of fact, I can't stand you. I don't even. So, you know. But at least something good is coming out of this COVID stuff. And whether you believe in taking the vaccine or not, that's your choice. Protect yourself. Do something. Put a mask on. Do something. Whatever you feel like you need to do to protect you and your family. I'm with it. Y'all see how that work? We ain't got to get mad at each other. We ain't got to be all upset about it. He got vaccinated. He didn't get vaccinated. She wearing a mask. She ain't wearing. You just do what you feel like best for you and yours. And people, we can disagree without trying to hurt each other. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What they say, I have to agree to disagree. You know, I respectfully disagree. Something, you know, it really don't matter. Because at the end of the day, don't nobody pay your bills and take care of your kids but you. So why you give a fuck what another motherfucker do? You ain't got nothing better to do but give a fuck what another motherfucker do. Come on now. Well, anyway, while we on that subject about people giving a fuck about doing this and doing that, y'all are preach this. Fighting at work. I don't get it. If you get mad about something, you want to jump on your other employee. But once you hit that motherfucker, you ain't got to, you fighting at a job that's owned by somebody else that don't give a fuck about you or the person you trying to get into it with. And then at the end of the day, guess what? Once you hit this person or do whatever you go do to them, you ain't gonna have no job to fight about. Come on now, Polo. Say that shit one more time. While you trying to fight at the job, when you get into the fight, you ain't gonna have a job to fight on. So what's the point? Come on, people. Somebody give me a round of applause for that. Cause that was just good game. And I keep telling y'all, street shit and work shit do not mix. So just leave it alone, man. Meanwhile, in a little celebrity news, Tyler Perry. My guy, I like Tyler Perry. I like his movies. Some people say they're a little cheesy, corny, his shows. I like the movies and the plays. Really, I'm going to say I like the plays, then the movies, then the little TV shows, you know, what is it? If Loving You Is Wrong, you know, the Browns and stuff like that. So, I fuck with Tyler Perry. But apparently he don't fuck with his accounting staff. He fired every last one of them. And hold on now, don't be judging Tyler now. Everybody know he a God-fearing man. He's a good guy now. He employ a lot of people. But he found out that the IRS owed him $9 million. And his accounting staff missed it. So, you know, I believe everybody need to keep their job, you know, unless it's just something dramatic. But every person need to have their source of income. But now, in this $9 million incident, I'm kind of entitled on that. Like, if you motherfucker can't, and this what the IRS owe him. This money that could have been in his pocket could have been going towards his really them. This money that could have been going in their pocket, because here they work for him too. He could have put it back in the studio, started some other project. We talking about $9 million. But anyway, Tyler said, man, fuck that shit. All y'all got to go. I don't know who it was. All y'all got to go. But, man, that is crazy. Once again, rich people problems. Sometimes, you know, everybody want to think they want to be rich. But, man, when that money come in, so does the problems and the people with the bullshit. And speaking of people with the bullshit, oh, man, the Missouri police chief, they called an ambulance to his house because somebody done OD'd in his apartment. And then when they get there, they find the dope. Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. But first of all, if the chief living in an apartment, I don't know what the housing situation looking like in Missouri. But if the chief got an apartment, I don't know what kind of. Maybe it was a nice apartment. To me, I just feel like the chief shouldn't be in no apartment, you know. But I stay down south, you know, and I've been to Missouri a few times. Now that I think about it, when I was in Missouri, I stayed in an apartment. But I wasn't the fucking police chief, though. You see what I'm saying? But to me, that was the start of the problem right there. He the chief, and he staying in an apartment. Now, if that motherfucker had a condo or a house, he might not be having people ODing in his shit. And then when they come to the apartment, they find dope. And I think he gets charged with second-degree trafficking. So it wasn't a little bit of dope. It was a lot of dope. But shout out to the old police chief, because you know that they finna make an example out of him. The DA finna jump out on. Probably don't like him no way. You know, these motherfuckers don't always get along. Because the police bringing charges and somebody might be paying somebody to overlook stuff, but somebody keep bringing these cases up. So I guarantee you, he better enjoy his freedom while it lasts. Well, he probably won't even get out. They probably deny his bond. But anyway, moving back towards the southeast, really. North Carolina, teen shoots 5. Here we go again, y'all. This shit, the sad part is it's starting to get commonplace. Teen shootings with big boy guns. And, you know, you're going to have people say, well, we got to tighten the gun laws. And you're going to have people say, we got the right to bear arms. Well, I'm going to tell you what Polo think about it. Tighten the gun laws really ain't going to work because that's a law. And the motherfuckers that's getting the guns and doing the stupid shit, they not law abiding. So, to me, that's just something you put on paper. But now I do believe in raising the age. To me, 18, 19, you can't buy beer. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy cigarettes. So you shouldn't be able to buy a firearm. That's just how I feel about it. Now, to me, that's just common sense. And then, you know how I was hot-headed when I was a teen. And, you know, like, look at the world we live in, man. These motherfuckers fucked up in the head, man. They don't want to do shit, play video games, pop a little pills. They fucked up in the head. They don't got no respect for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but it's a pretty good bit of them. And then while we on that, I mean, that shit, to me, that starts in the home, too. Because you got to keep up with what your kid doing. That's your job as a parent. It's called parenting. And then I actually think parenting will work a whole lot better than gun laws. Come on now, what you say, Polo? I said, I think parenting will work a little more than gun laws. Because my kids already know you ain't gonna be back there in the room building no pipe bomb in my house. Because you don't go be open, first of all. I need to know what's going on at all times. I'm on the phones. You can call it whatever. Invasion of privacy or whatever. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I call it knowing what the fuck going on in my house. That's what I call it. And these are my opinion and views. They don't represent any publisher or platform that carries this podcast. And any questions or comments, you can hit me at MarcoPolo2K at iCloud.com, Polo_DA_swag_king on Instagram, or Polo the Swag King 1 on Twitter. But yeah, we got to do something, people. We got to do something. And here we go with these celebrities again. And to me, this motherfucker right here worse than somebody with a gun. Kanye West. Oh, man, here we go. Now, Kanye got his opinions. He got the right to his opinion. He said some stuff about Jews and a lot of racist statements. And now he done lost ties with Balenciaga, Gap, Adidas, Good Music. Def Jam cut him from Good Music. That's his subsidiary to Def Jam, his record label. But they cut him from Def Jam. I heard the Goodwill, you can't even donate Yeezys to the Goodwill. The Goodwill won't even take his shit. So I don't know. But whether here's the thing, and I'm just being real with y'all. Don't get mad at me. Some people might agree with what Kanye said. Matter of fact, I've heard several people that said it. But whether you agree with him or not, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it and where you say it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think you can't, no hate talk. Regardless of how you feel, there's no room for hate talk. Lord knows we got enough bullshit going on in America as it is. We already divided as it is. Like, we don't need no more. And whether you agree with him or not, I feel like you shouldn't get on a social media platform and blast this. Because what's going to happen is you'll have somebody that can't think for themselves. They'll listen to you. They might follow suit. Or you might have some people that disagree with you, and now they mad at you. But either way, I don't feel like you should be doing anything hateful towards any group of people on social media. That's just, and I'm gonna move right along on that because I want to talk about another celebrity called Will Smith. He's got a new movie, Emancipation, coming out in December. And I thought I told y'all, that's my music. I thought I told y'all that Oscar slap wasn't go fuck with his career at all. All he gotta do is just stay away from the event for 10 years, cause ain't no director or major person that's got Will Smith in mind for a role go not put him on because of the Oscar slap. And then this movie was probably already made, probably too much money in it. They wasn't finna cancel that motherfucker. He could have slapped Joe Biden. Cause when it come down to it, the money and the production, these folks trying to get their money back or their investment back. So shout out to Will Smith back up. And then, hey man, the man got upset. This Will Smith, the man ain't been cussing in the sun. Jada be dogging his ass out. His son, homeboy fucking his wife. I mean, shit, I'm surprised that motherfucker ain't flipped out before then. So, he took something a little personal, looked over there at Jada. She looking like, you better do something about that nigga. And he walked up and slapped the man, At least he fixed his coat when he got done. That was some real Hollywood shit there. He fixed his goddamn coat like he... But anyway, man, forgive Will Smith, man. That shit happened. It's over with. It dead. And then Chris Rock making out good. Him and Kevin Hart tour, the tickets went through the roof. But people calling him every day trying to get him on shit because they think he go talk about the Will Smith shit. So it actually boosted. Well, I ain't gonna say that like boosted it like Chris Rock didn't already have it, but shit, it made him more money than he was already getting. So, I mean, cheek was probably a little red, but them dollars green. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, now y'all, this one right here. Now this just me. Ooh. I forget, this was overseas somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but they found a missing woman. She was missing a couple days, and they found her in the stomach of a 22-foot python. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie, they probably found me too, because I'd have had a heart attack when I seen that motherfucker and drop dead right there, and then all he had to do is just walk up and swallow my head, because, man, I'm terrified of a 2-foot snake. Hell, 1-foot snake. He ain't even got to be a foot. That motherfucker gonna be about 6 inches. That man, but I couldn't imagine. And sometimes Mississippi ain't all that, but sometimes I'm glad I stay down this way. Cause man, like in Australia and wherever this happened, man, 22 Florida, 22-foot python, and then they swallowed a whole woman whole. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm moving along. It's making my skin crawl just thinking about it. But y'all, I want you to hear me and hear me good. I just want your opinion on this now. The world's dirtiest man. I'm talking about, you can look him up. He in the Guinness Book of World Records. The world's dirtiest man ain't took a bath in 60-something years. He finally take a bath. He died a few weeks later. You think it's because he washed all the dirt off of him, his body couldn't handle it? Or what's going on with him? But I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know exactly what, but that do seem, this man done went 60 years without taking a bath, which is, I feel like it's disgusting. I can't even imagine how he smelled. I don't even know how, well, he probably was nose blind. He round himself all the time. But they said he was a nice guy, and the people in the village messed with him. He cool dude, didn't bother nobody. But after 60 years, he take a bath, and a couple weeks later, it's over with. That is crazy. But anyway, y'all, I'm not sure. I just got up this morning. Like I told you, this is the AM edition. I'm not sure if anybody won the Powerball. But it's up in the billions, I believe, in payout. But, if you hit it, what you go do with it? Man, ain't no telling. I don't even think it's, some people don't need that kind of money. Because you'll be surprised how many people you didn't know they was an asshole until they got over $1 billion. And I think the cash value will be like 780-something million, like if you want it right then. So, I don't know, man. I think, well, I ain't no thinking. That's changing motherfucker attitude, man. I really can't see a person having that kind of money and being the same exact person. I don't think it's possible. Because you definitely go change your lifestyle. You probably ain't gonna you shouldn't take no shit from nobody. You got several $100 million. So I don't know about that. Sometimes people need to be broke or just getting by to keep their motherfucking attitude in check. That's just how I feel about it. It's fucked up, but that's just how I feel about it. But anyway, Oregon, the state of Oregon, they trying to do a bill to do affordable health care for everybody. And I'm watching that close, y'all, because I feel like if one can do it, all of them can do it. And we need to take care of ourselves, eat better, get our rest. And if you go do something, don't do too much of it. Overindulging. I need to take my own advice because, I love turning up. You know what I'm saying? But we got to take care of ourselves. We're getting older. The kids getting older. And you want to be around for them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this has been another episode of Polo's POV. I thank y'all for riding with me, y'all. You can hit me up at MarcoPolo2K at iCloud.com. Polo_DA_swag_king on Instagram. Polo the Swag King 1 on Twitter. Look out for my music, Polo the Swag King, on all platforms. I have So Fly the Anthem. That's ANTHEM. And Ants in Her Pants. All one word. And I thank y'all for joining me. And until next time, be good and be safe. Peace.